What up, y'all? It's your boy Benny here. We're back again with another Pokemon Pocket video. In the middle of the night, the game got an update and people found the cards. So this video right here is going to go over the entire full card list. Also show you what's kind of in each pack so that way you can start prepping and planning as soon as tomorrow for which kind of cards you want to aim for, and just kind of our first impressions on the new EXs and Megas and all the other things that are in there. So at this point in the video, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, then click that notification bell button, and this is where we're going to click it. So if you do not want to be spoiled and wait until tomorrow, by all means, but for those of you who want to plan or just even see what they look like and just can't help it, let's go ahead and look at it. So here we go. All right, so we know we have 1, 2, 3 packs that are happening here. We have a total of 331 cards as well. So let's go ahead and just kind of look through these. So we kind of have a full card list here. We have our basic Pinsir, 90 HP, X Scizor 50. If it has, it does 100. For 3 energy, probably won't play it. Mega Pinsir EX 170, Critical Scissors 80 HP. 70 damage more, 150 with Will and Leafeon. This could be very viable, right? I feel like you evolve into Leafeon, you pour the grass out, you attack for 70, then you're building up your Mega Pinsir between the capes that you have, the healing. Like, this could be very good mega card. I'm excited to like mess around with this one. We have Beautifly, 130 skill dive, 1 energy, 50 damage. Maybe like, because this is worth 3 points, I don't know if I want to use this, but 130 HP is not that high for a stage 2, if we're like really being honest here. But you do have your 2 evolutions here, so you can go Cascoon into Dustock, 130. Select Powder does 60. Choose either Poison or Confuse. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now affected by a special condition. Like, that's stronger than Beautifly, right? I guess you can do 50 anywhere, but like this 60 plus Poison sounds crazy. Shiftry 2, 140, 2 energy, 70 damage. Discard a card from your opponent's hand. Oh, that's annoying. That's annoying, actually. I like that. That's not too bad. Okay. Breloom, stage 1, C-Bomb 40. I guess you evolve, you get the extra HP there. We have Pansage, Semi-Sage. These monkeys are so fun. 40 damage for 2, flip 3, 40 for each one. So for 2 energy, you can do up to 120 damage, but that's, you need all heads there. So could possibly see that happening. We see our first EX, Whimsicott. So let's go ahead and look at it in here. This attack does 30 more damage for each energy in your opponent's active retreat cost. Now this could be good. This could be actually really good. I kind of like this here because what I'm like, what are you thinking? What are we thinking? If we have cards like, oh, let us search. There we go. So if we have cards like Darkrai, that has 2 energy, so you're doing 60 damage here plus weakness. That's 120. That's a good amount of damage there. You have, I don't think Giratina is gonna be involved in this anymore. 2 energy, that still does a lot of damage, but like when we take a look at Mega Gyarados, that's 3 energy. So this for only being 2 points could do a lot of damage for 2 energy, and then you build that up with something else in the back. Like, for that's I think this is really strong. I can't even hold y'all. It really does depend on their active retreat cost, but like that's still a lot of good chip damage. Even if it's just 1 retreat cost, you're doing 70 damage, and there's not a lot of Pokemon that have 0 retreat, so that's really cool. So we continue. Lilligant here, like really excited about this Lilligant. Toughness, Aroma. Each of your grass energy gets plus 20 HP. So all of these boost up, right? Like this goes to 1, like without cape or anything, this just sits there and it can boost up. So that's really nice. Just having that as like a 1 of in a lot of these grass decks. Ooh, the Swords of Justice are making their way back. 3 energy, Sacred Sword. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Sacred Sword. Oh, we don't like that. It's 3 energy. I understand it's 110 damage, but like I guess we can hopefully switch out Fossil Tech here to kind of like make that work. Maractus, another basic. 40. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. Go-Go, 120. Double Edge, 3 energy. Does 20 to itself. Okay. Trevenant, 110. Hornleaf, 60. Heal, 20. This has some survivability to it. Okay, Galar's here. No EX for our Galars though. No EX, but let's see what this does. Captivating Rhythm. Once during your turn, you may flip a coin. If heads, with one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. Actually, not bad. That's like pretty cool. Being able to control. There, obviously you have things like Will, but like you need 4 energy to get your attack off though. So I don't know. I think that's kind of like where they like nerf it a little bit. This could be good. This could not be good. I feel like you kind of have to like play around with it because of this. There's just so much energy for this attack here. But I do rate this ability a lot. Arcanine basic on new Arcanine, 120, 2 energy. You flip a coin to see if they're burned. I like. I don't know how I feel about that one. Ooh, Rapidash EX. Okay, hello. Rapidash EX, 110. We have Sprinting Flare. This attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. This is nice. We have so much ramp for fire between Magby. If you retreat, we have Flame Patch now. We have, you know, Flareon even. The assisting heater that builds you up with there as well too. So there's ways to get to this 110 pretty quickly. And at that point, unless you're running Magby, you are doing damage to your opponent's active. So this could be viable. 150 HP is not bad for a stage 1. So that's pretty good. We get to see the basic Ho for 2 energy, 2 colorless, 100 heal, 30 from each of your bench basic. That's actually pretty good. With just the ramp that we just talked about, even going Magby into Ho into something else to start healing is nice. Oh, we do get a non-EX version of the Mega. Oh, that's cool. Oh, we did do that. So Pinsir, Mega Pinsir, and then we get Blaziken, Mega Blaziken. I wonder if they're gonna keep that kind of trend going. We have 2 energy, Blaze Kick, discard 1 energy from this Pokemon. So you do still do the discard, so you still get to pair this up here. 80 for 2 energy for 50 is pretty good for Combuskin. 61 energy for Torchic, 20 is like on par with usually the pacing here. Mega Blaziken EX really does still stand out as like one of the higher competitive Mega Pokemons. For 2 energy, you're attacking for 140, right? The initial 120 plus 20 from there. The only thing that stops that is an opposing Arceus from there. And if they're not flipping heads, they're getting that residual damage each turn from there. So that's like really, really strong. Other Fire Monkey into Fire Ape here. We got 2 energy. Oh, I think they're gonna all do the same thing. I think it's Fury Swipes 40 times 3 for each heads. And then Darmanitan here, flip 2 coins, attack does 30 more damage for each heads. Okay, this is nice. Simisear is like I have to hit a heads in order to be able to do damage. This is an addition to, so that's pretty good. But it kind of explains why you jump from just 2 energy to like 4 energy. That hurts. Chandelure is in the game. We love to see it. Chandelure, we have here Slow Seer. Once during your turn, you may discard the top card of your opponent's deck. Oh, that's not nice. Oh, that's not even like a mirrored effect. You're effectively just neutering what your opponent is trying to do. And yeah, you can even like let them draw their cards, red card them, and then ability activate this, put those cards right back into the deck, and then take it away from them. Or you let them continue to draw out and then they don't have any more cards or resources. I don't know. And it doesn't say it doesn't stack, right? So if there's 2 Chandelures out, you could do this twice in a turn. So they're losing 2 cards per turn, which could be really devastating in a lot of these like rare candy as types of decks, right? Like, I think that makes me want to play 2 Torchic, 1 Combuskin, 2 Blazikins, maybe even 1 mini Blaziken, just for like Oricorios and whatnot. But that I don't know how meta this is going to be, but if this is meta, that could be really annoying, especially because it's still good damage, right? Non-EX 2 energy for 80 is still very good damage. Heatmore got a new print, 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, so it's just the fire type Hitmonlee. I think with like Magikarp and some of these other babies, this is could be a really good card for fire. Pyroar, discard 2 fire energy from this Pokemon. You have Flame Patch, so you can obviously next turn get that fire energy back, add an additional energy. I think you only move this up to attack from there. Stage 1, 130 HP is not bad either. Turtonator, 40 Shell Trap, then they take 20 if they attack you. So your opponent has to decide whether or not that's going to work, which I like. Golduck, 90 HP, 1 energy, 50 damage. Well, not bad. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. There you have 90 HP for 2 energy for 70, but not having to dedicate another one to this is pretty nice. Magikarp was what we thought it was. Waterfall Evolution. Put a card that from your deck that evolves into this Pokemon to evolve it. But you can evolve into this Gyarados, Hammering Tail, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. Oh no! Pokemon Pocket is telling us use Mill. That's what we're getting. They're telling us to use Mill. That's insane because Mega Blaster here discards your top 3 cards, which goes nutty. Lotad, Lombre Ludicolo. Just if you have exactly 1, 3, or 5 cards in your hand, this does 60 more damage. Oh, that's cool. We haven't had that kind of effect before where it really does do with your hand size. That's dope. So you want to be on odd in order for this to take effect, but no more than 5. Wailord, stage 1, 200 HP. That's disgusting. This stage 2, 140. This stage 2, 140, 150. 200 off rip is crazy insane. I understand that this is the biggest Pokemon, but that's wild. Whale Pump 60 plus does 10 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. Jellicent and Wailord can go ham as a deck here. Oh man, we're gonna get to Jellicent in just a second because there's so much from the trailer, but this can go hard because you can really generate energy here. You got Mantac, you got Manaphy, you have Jellicent, you have Misty. Oh wow, okay. This could be something. All right, we got a new Crawdaunt, 3 energy, 90, just going for pure damage. Love this skin here. 2, 4, 6 card, this does 30 more, so it goes up to 60. So we have a similar effect that we saw from Ludicolo. Simipour, Fury Swipes for the water, sounds good. Seismitoad, Split, Spiral Punch. Your opponent's Pokemon is not confused. Confusion is an interesting status. It doesn't go away unless you retreat or switch with Lyra and like all these other things, but you can still potentially attack and it doesn't really damage you. So I wonder if this is how folks feel about this kind of confusion piece. We have Caracosta, and we do know that there is a trainer that allows you to heal 70 HP for this. It is a fossil for our water types, 150 HP, blocking shell. Basics can't attack you during your next turn. Ooh, so they would have to like Sabrina you out or Cyrus up another mon in order for them to attack. I wonder how relevant we're going to see things like Darktina or Guzzlord or the other Ultra Beasts as well, because we have these new megas. But this is a very interesting effect if people just want to do or be a part of something that's more comfortable for them. So that could be cool. Jelly said this is what I was talking about before. If this is attacked, you get to put a water energy from your energy zone and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. Again, fill it up this Wailord very quickly. It's just 2 energy for serve. You can just use it as a body instead of just damaging it, because then you can just power this up instead. There's a lot of things you can do here. Just even having Wailord, Jellicent, and Mantike with the new trainer that we're going to be seeing down below to help you search for things is going to be pretty sweet. Keldeo, Swords of Justice, Sacred Sword, 110. Can't use it next turn. All right, so I think that just might be for all of the Swords of Justice. We'll find out. Greninja. Greninja gets an EX, y'all. 170 HP. Once during your turn, you may switch your active water Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. That's kind of nice. That's kind of real. That's real nice. That's real nice. You could have a wall or an attacking mon, and once that HP goes down, you can immediately move it. And it doesn't necessarily need to be another water Pokemon. They name that your active needs to be water. It doesn't necessarily say that your bench needs to be water. So you can still mix around, put this up in there, and do certain things. But this is really cool. I had an idea for, Mega Greninja EX to be able to do this kind of effect. So it's kind of sweet to see it being informed for just regular Greninja. That's nice. We have Avalugg. So so now you have these big tanks, right? Retreat costs 100, 4. Wailord is 4. Mega Gyarados is 3. So being able to just switch these out for free is nice. And it says switch as well. Switching is not retreating. So that could be something really interesting to think about as well too. Maybe some kind of pairing with with Dragonite EX, maybe. I don't know. This is cool. Well, that's a dragon, not a water. So don't mind me. We have Avalugg, Frost Barrier 70 during your opponent's next turn is 620 less. Okay, so it gets very more tanky. Yo, this card art is sick. This has Mega Gyarados in the background. Okay, then Choodle, let me find out. Is there any other? Oh, it's here too. The Wheelmore has it as well. Oh, that's fun. Are there any other cards that do that? I don't think they did that for Mega Blaziken. I think we would have saw, but that's pretty sweet. Dreadnought, 3 energy, 70. Your opponent can't retreat to next turn. I just love how this is the stage 1. I guess they give it more HP, but this is the Misty effect because Arbok does, it takes it for 2, right? Or even what's the Houndoom does it for 2 energy as well. Bearscudum, an 80, does 20 to itself for 2 damage. It's actually pretty good on a stage 1. SQ, if this Pokemon has HP, takes minus 40 damage from your attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Okay. So then, this wouldn't be able to attack, and I get to keep my ability active. This doesn't get to attack, get my ability active. Potioning back up gets us back there as well too. So if it's an attack that's 50, I hit potion. Back up to 80, then they can only do 10 damage again. Jolteon EX is another one that we have here. As long as this Pokemon's in the active spot, whenever your opponent attaches an energy from the energy zone to one of their Pokemon, do 20 damage to that Pokemon. That's actually really nice. Being able to go first and evolve into this just kind of means that now that they're getting this additional damage to them, and then if they're trying to attack you from their front spot, that's at least 20, and then you're going to be able to attack for 80 moving forward from there. Some of those other mons that need energy to go, so that's pretty good as well. So you're relying on babies, you're relying on other cards that allow you to get so things like Volkner or Flame Patch or other abilities that give you energy can avoid this, but this is great. But if it says from the energy zone, you're getting 20 damage, and whenever too, so it's not once per turn, it's however many times. So that's nice. That's pretty good. We got the Ampharos non-EX, a Zapping Bullet, 90. One of your opponent's bench Pokemon at random does 20 to win, and then we have 100, and then you get to do that 3 times for 20. So this output is 160, which I think is also another strong Mega here as well. And then Ampharos does this for 110, which is also really good here. Luxray gets a new print. I swear Pokemon Pocket loves their Luxray. I feel like Luxray is in at least every other and at least in every other pack here. Luxray gets a lot of love, and which makes Volkner continuously better because they're still innovating on like what this card does. Shout out to Electabuzz, who's not getting as much love though. Luxray, 2 damage, 110. This does 20 damage to one of your bench Pokemon. This could be a lot of fun. There's a lot of things that like having damage to them. You have Mimikyu with Areola that allows you to then put that damage back out to your opponent. You have things like Regigigas that allows you to build out more damage. That's from there. You have things like Boltund that like reduces the amount of energy from 3 to 1 if it has damage on it. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's cool. Oh, and we have a new Boltund actually. 2 energy 60. Zebstrika 3 energy 90. Galvantula 1 energy 50. Okay, some quick damage here. Discard a lightning energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Don't know how well we're gonna see this. And Pachirisu, if your opponent's active has damage on it, just attack this 30 more. Attack the wound. Okay. You need 2 energy in order for that to happen, but we're going. Alright, now we're into our psychic types. Zatu, 3 energy, 80, 100 HP. Alright. Miss Maggie is here, 2 energy, 70. Okay, this is like kind of in line of what we've seen before in the past with stage 1 Pokemon. We have Sableye, discard a card from your hand. If you can't, this attack does nothing. Oh, that is definitely mischievous. That's interesting that we have to discard a card, but you know, that's fine. I guess a basic attacking for 70 is very high, but still discarding a card that you can't really get back. I don't know. Mega Altaria EX, just get those bench Pokemon, and then you can deal 130 damage for 2 energy, which is really nice. We have a Dusknoir here. When this Pokemon is knocked out, flip a coin. If heads, your opponents can't get any points for it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool because you are a stage 2, you're dealing 80 damage per turn. They're working their way to like get 150 damage off. They were already going to get a point no matter what. So even just flipping for it and either it be what you were already expecting, which was losing a point, or getting a pleasant surprise in the fact that they don't get a point and they still have all that damage that you were doing to them for this 80 damage here is not bad because like, you get your Dusknoir here, you get to possibly do 40, you get to do 30 for sure with Dusclops, and then attack for 80 is actually not, it's pretty sweet. And then you can opt in for Dusknoir or the other one that does the healing as well too. So that's like pretty cool. Star Drop with Jirachi, 30 anywhere. Driftlimb, 20. There's 20 more attached to, You do 20 more damage for each energy attached to this Pokemon. I guess you could pair this up with Gardevoir actually, and just kind of build up on this. Its HP is a little low, so but if you get this to be really high up there, that could be pretty sweet. Chingling, during your opponent's next turn, they can't play any item cards from their hand. They did it. I believe this is the Badoo. Let me see. I believe this is the Badoo from Pokemon Standard. Badoo TCG. Yes, it is. Itchy Pollen is what they call it. That's so funny. It's called Itchy Pollen. I don't know how well you can see it in here, but it basically does the exact same effect for 10 damage. They can't play it. No flame patch, no healing items, no and most importantly, no rare candies. You do, like, it is 30 HP, it is a basic, it can get knocked out pretty quickly, but disrupting, stopping the Blaziken, stopping the Charizard, stopping any stage 2 shenanigans is actually really clean here, and I won't be surprised if like people are just running at least just one of these and like playing it out when it's opportune, or just keeping in hand and because they don't need to, right? Like you could even have the Sableye if your opponent already used it, and then like you can just discard that. Like that's it. We have Cofagrigus. I'm gonna go back to this. I really do like this card. I like this effect. I'm curious to see how this works out with Pocket. Cofagrigus, 120 HP, 2 energy, discard 2 cards from your hands. If you can discard 2 cards, attack does nothing. That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know if I want to play this. Unless there's a way for me to bring back my cards from the discard pile in an easy way. Cofagrigus, I'm butchering this name, but this Pokemon feels a lot to stomach. Maybe I can get away with doing 1 card, but 2? That's a lot. Gothitail, Stella Cradle, 70 energy. If they attach energy from their energy zone to the defending Pokemon, their Pokemon will be asleep. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. You attach an energy, I'm putting you down to bed. That's hilarious. Aromatisse, Confounding, Cologne 40. Your opponent's Pokemon is now confused. Surf plus, 2 energy here, 50 damage, heal 30. Okay, like the little healing. Carbinks in the game. During your opponent's next turn, this active Pokemon. This Pokemon takes minus 30. So you gotta live here in order to be able to do that. But that, I mean, Carbink is such a defensive unit. That makes a lot of sense. Klefki, it typically has Prankster. Is there a way for this to go first? Once on your bench, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard all Pokemon tools from your opponent's active Pokemon. If you do discard this Pokemon. Oh! We get Pokemon tool removal for free? That's actually kind of nice. That's actually kind of nice. You're really using Klefki as more of a utility card. So there's a lot of utility for Psychic here, right? Like we have Klefki, we have Chingling in here as well. That's pretty cool. And then we get in DDEX. Ability Watch Over. Once during your turn, you may heal 20 damage from your active Pokemon. Oh my goodness. This is everything that we wanted Cresselia to be. And they finally put it and finally brought it. Cresselia EX, we really wanted that because it was coming out during the promo when we had Darkrai. We had, like, you know, the moon, the darkness, blah blah this. It would have made it very lovely, but in fact it only allowed you to heal itself when you attach the energy. And we were like, oh, if only if you attach the energy and then like you heal 20. It's similar to like Darkrai's mechanic, but this is for free. You get to heal 20 to your active, so more utility. Even pairing something up like this with the Mega Altaria is because Mega Altaria is only looking for bench Pokemon, and then you get to kind of get free heals per turn. So 2 of these with the Mega Altaria, that's 40 per turn, and then this does 30 more damage for every energy attached to your opponent's active. So decent attack, really strong ability, pretty good. All right, we're getting into fighting now. We got Sandslash, 1 energy, 50. So they're doing a lot of these, just like evolve attack real quick. Hitmon EX, this attack's damage isn't affected by weakness. So it's doing 50 damage for 1 energy right away. 130, just attacking for 50. Yeah, why not? I mean, we know that fighting definitely does take a lot more energy, so like having something that just does 1 for a good amount of damage pretty quickly does pretty well. I wish that like it didn't have this tagline so we can see that for against normal types and electric types, but we'll take it. Sudowoodo, if this damage has damage on it, attack does 50 more damage, so 2 energy, 80 for a basic is pretty good. Hariyama, 130 for energy, slap knockdown, 110. Discard all Pokemon tools of your opponent's active Pokemon, and then you get to attack. Nice! Okay. And then this happens beforehand, so there's no, you know, no like steel armor that takes the -10 off or anything else like that we might see later on. So that's pretty good. Powdon, 3. If Teos' Pokemon can't attack during the next turn. So you still get the 100 off. Okay, that's good. Crocodile, ground type here, fighting type. Flip a coin until you get Teos. For each heads, discard a random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, so we get TCG, or Team Rocket Grunt for fighting. Archeops, this attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. During your next turn, this Pokemon's wild attack spin does 20 damage for each of your, plus 20 to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Huh? This attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. During your next turn, this Pokemon's wild spin attack does plus 20. Oh, okay, so then it's 20, 40, 60, 80. So it just continues to build. So your best bet here is to switch this thing out or knock it out as soon as you can. That's what's happening here. Okay, okay, that goes crazy. It scales. It scales, and then it scales across the board. So that's pretty cool. We got Golurk here. Just reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. This attack does 60 damage for each Pokemon with a retreat cost of 3 or more. You find there, shuffle the revealed cards back into your deck. That's a lot. 3 or more, I guess, for fighting. That's not horrible. What is that? This is 4, this is 3, this is 4, this is 3. So you're really building up for these ones, but then their attacks are also so much as well. So who knows? Terrakion, Sacred Sword. We already know this. They just can't use it that following turn. Pancham is here. 1 colorless, so the Pangoro might just be a dark type. 20. Carbonal fighting, 1 last chance punch, 30. If this is 30 or less, this attack does 60 more damage. Okay. I wish the HP was a little higher, but I see what they're trying to do here. Beware, fighting type, 3 energy, 90. That's a lot of damage just for 90. There's a lot of energy just for 90 here. Sandygast, 80 HP, but I guess that's fine. Starmie EX does 90 for 2, so that makes sense. Same attack, 20. Your opponents, if they're depending, tries to use attack. Your opponent flips a coin. If tails, this attack. So it's confusion. It's confusion, but you got to do it every time. Okay. Life Sucker, 20 healing plus 70 damage is pretty good. And we got Colossal here, 3 energy, Cold Drop 100. If this opponent attack has a grass, it does 50 more damage. Is there grass Pokemon that's fully meta? Maybe if the Ultra Beasts are in here, or if Mega Pinsir is a rise, that could be a direct counter into, but I don't know if that is going to take it to a full effect here. All right, Darkness, we got Honchkrow. It's colorless, so you can slot this anywhere. Attack does 40 more damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play that has an ability. That'd be kind of nice. Finally, some like ability play here. Absol, a non-EX version. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent reveals their hand, choose the portal you find there, and discard it. Okay, so it's literally the same effect, but this one you have to like flip tails. 2 energy, 50, 2 energy, 80. That's kind of nice there. We have Drapion, 2 dark, 1 colorless, 50 stun poison, flip a coin. If your head's active Pokemon is now poisoned and paralyzed. Double. That's great. Darkrai Shadow Cage, 70. During your opponent's next turn, defending Pokemon can't retreat. Okay. Hydreigon, just take 2 energy. You get 30 damage when you do that. Pangoro, 1 energy, 30. During your next opponent's next turn, does 30 more damage. So it'll just do 60 that following turn. It doesn't stack from there. Dragalge EX, okay, give it to me. If this Pokemon is in the active spot, is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, and attacking Pokemon is not poisoned. So instead of taking 20 damage, you're now getting poisoned. Okay, okay, and 2 energy for 80, that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. Toxapeck 50, 70 if they're more poisoned. Grimmsnarl, just 3 energy, attack for 100. We got our Seal types, Cobalion, Sacred Sword, Aegislash, which is going to allow Metal and Psychic being able to do plus 30, Ferrothorn, minus 20, Durant, if there's another one, you do 40 more damage. That's pretty cool. And then we get Melmetal EX, 2 attacks here, which is kind of nice. 80 for Headbutt, 100. If this Pokemon has a Pokemon tool attached, this attack does 50 more damage. So they're essentially saying play the light, the memory light here. Amass, get to Headbutt, get to Metal Arms, get to do 150 for 4, but you're amassing here 170 HP. Is kind of nice. It's kind of nice. Corviknight, Iron Wings, discard 2 Metal Energy from this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon takes minus 50 damage from attacks. It's pretty good, but discarding 2 energy is a lot when you can't really ramp back up with Metal Energy. We have a new Drud, and then Goodra here, Water Psychic, and colorless. Heal 40 damage from this Pokemon, so there's a lot of things you can mess around with this, especially because this Goomy, as long as this Pokemon's in the active spot, attacks used by your opponent's active Pokemon cost 1 more. It's pretty nice. But this needs to be in an active spot in order for this to work, so bear in mind that. We do have a Tauros EX here. Flip a coin. If tails, this Pokemon does 30 damage to itself. Oh, okay. I guess I have to minimize that because it is a basic doing 90 damage for 2 energy, but 30 damage. You gotta deal with it. Pidgeot gets some love. Flip 2 coins. Discard a random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. If it is tails, then attack does nothing. Boosted evolution. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, it can evolve during your first turn or on the turn you play it. Oh, so Jolteon. This is actually like pretty nice. Jolteon that we saw. If you would want to play with this, because then you get to evolve right away and then control the board right from the spot with the energy. Or evolve right away with Sylveon and draw cards. That's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. Ambipom, we got Excited Tail. We get 30 for each heads, which is like could be really cool to see. So there's some other fun ones that like look cool. Search for friends. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve, you may put a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. I like that. So we get our Professor's Research back. We get anything else back, really? That could be really cool. And Fruit, we've seen these before. Statland, Dangerous Bite 70 to attack Pokemon. Active is a basic, then the attack does 70 more damage. And now we're getting into the items. Okay. Prank Spinner. A card from among both players is chosen at random, reveals to the other player, and shuffled into the owner's deck. So we just get to know what it is, but it goes back in there. This is Plume Fossil and Cover Fossil. So Archeops and Caracosta. Hitting Hammer, flip 2 coins. If both of them are heads, discard a random energy from your opponent active Pokemon. Get a little lucky, then you get to break some things. Flame Patch is probably the most favored item that we are getting from this set, which allows you to attach a fire energy from your discard pile to your active Pokemon. Citrus Berry allows you to heal 30 once you're at half or less. Heavy Helmet, if it has attached to a retreat cost 30 or more, it takes minus 20 damage from opponent's attack. Okay, for the big boys. If you are like you got that retreat cost, you get to take less damage, and that's across anywhere. That's actually really nice. Whenever your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack used by this Pokemon, this card is attached to draw a card. Oh, so we get even more draw power with this Pokemon tool, which is like really sweet. Then we have Marlin, heal 70 from one of your Caracosta or your Jellicent. Hala during your opponent's next turn. If Hariyama or Carbuncle would be knocked out, it is not knocked out, and its remaining HP becomes 10. Okay, get some support to these two. Oh, that actually works out well with that Carbuncle because you get to use that last chance hit here. May is probably the card, the #1 supporter that people are looking for, because you get to put 2 random Pokemon from your deck into your hand for each Pokemon you put into your hand. This way, choose a Pokemon to shuffle from your hand into your deck. It's just allowing you to be more consistent with these stage 2s or even decks that don't have the draw power, right? Like you're not running Entei or anything else like that. It's gonna be super helpful for you to find. Fantina, attach a psychic energy from your energy zone, attach it to each of your Drifblim and Mismagius. That's how you get your Balloon Barrage going. That's pretty cool. Copycat, shuffle your hand into your deck, draw a card for each card in your opponent's hand. Hand reset, we actually love doing that. And then it only impacts you, so that could be really helpful. So that way you're not worried about giving your opponent things, especially if they're bricking, which is why they have a huge hand. Or if you're going into opposing Sylveons and things like that, getting this Copycat off is actually pretty sweet. Because now that they drew through their deck, sweet. Me too, Copycat, and you get all the cards out. That's pretty fun. Put 2 random basic Pokemon with 50 HP or less from your deck into your hand. I didn't keep track of a lot of these, but like that could get you an Eevee to evolve into as well. Yeah, this is we're actually going to take a look at just kind of like what's there. And then, so yeah, we have our releases there. And then these are our card arts, which are literally magnificent. Beautifly, Skidoo, Rillaboom, okay. Oh wait, Rillaboom's the only one that's in here. I don't see Cinderace or Inteleon. That's interesting. Growlithe, Chandelure, Magikarp, Ludicolo, Jellicent, Keldeo, SQ, Luxray, Cofagrigus. Oh, this Cofagrigus art is beautiful. Gothita, Makuhita, Hippowdon, Archeops, Pancham, Honchkrow, Hydreigon. That's pretty sick. This Corviknight's pretty sick as well. Goomy, Delcatty, Statland, and Rufflet. And then the Megas get this like little background of like their regular forms, like Pinsir Gyarados, Blaziken, and then their megas are like the center of the card art, which is like pretty sweet. I like that a lot. Absol, Ampharos here. Alteria's right here at the bottom. These go hard. Yeah, I'm chasing after May and Lisa for sure. I want these two. Oh, these are so sick. These are so good in terms of like their the 2 stars, the rainbows. The rainbows are so good. Look at it. This is so cute for the Ampharos. We see the Melmetal. Oh, they're getting a rainbow as well. So all of the megas are getting rainbows. Plus Tauros and Didi. This is like a Ipopo, I think, reference here for this is like pretty cool. Think about, and then we have immersives for these 3. So let's kind of like hit those and play those as well. That felt like really angelic. That felt really angelic. This feels like ancient times. Whoa. Excuse me? Excuse me? Who made you mad? Okay, well, I think my winner here is Mega Gyarados for sure. Here are our shinies for the set as well, and then our crowns, multiple. Lilligant, Klefki, and Flame Patch. I kind of just want the Flame Patch. These are the ones I won't really be using. I definitely would be using the Flame Patch more often, so I definitely want that. So that's really cool here. And then when we go all the way to the top, here is just like the EXs that you'll find in each kind of set. So we have the Mega Altaria. Whimsicott is here. Then you have Mega Ampharos EX and you have Mega Altaria EX. From there, you do get the Goodra in this piece, Tauros here as an EX set. And then you get Lisa for the search for 50 with the Citrus Berry Pokemon tool. So those are some notable cards like off to think about, just right from there. The Indeedee EX is in here as well if you're really looking for that heal support for Psychic. Then we take a look at Mega Gyarados. Actually, hold on. Only exclusive. There we go. That's actually better. Whimsicott is in here. Ampharos, Mega Altaria, Indeedee, Goodra, Tauros, Citrus Berry, Lisa. Okay, so that's what pointed out here. Then we go to Mega Gyarados. We look at the only exclusives here. And I think if you're like a really good water type trainer, you really want to like use that. I think this is like really it for you, right? You get the Mega Gyarados EX, you get the Jellicent here, you get the Wailord, you get the Greninja, which is really strong. Jolteon is going to look really cool in terms of control in that sense as well. You get access to Mega Absol in here too, Melmetal. But in terms of the item cards, you're not getting the best hits for either the trainer or for the items. So you're really opening this pack up for the Pokemon cards. Like you're really looking like Mega Gyarados, Greninja, Jolteon is really kind of like, and Mega Absol of course, as like your main boosters here. You do get the Eevee in this one as well too, if you're really looking to like speed that up. And then the only exclusives for Blaziken, Pinsir is in here, Rapidash EX, Mega Blaziken is here. You get the Hitmonchan EX, the Dragalge, the Aegislash, which is going to be really, really cool to play around with, and the Flame Patch and May. So I think I'm going to start here. Because I really want the draw engine in May. I really do. I think competitively, you're going to want to start off with Mega Blaziken and then go from there in terms of like new megas. And this also gives me access to Mega Pinsir as well too, which I think is going to combine really well with Leafeon. I do want that Eevee to get into Leafeon right away so we can start evolving. We obviously need the card in our hand, but that can be improved upon later on. But this is where I think I'm going to start. For sure, but let me know what do you all want to start with. That is the full set and review, y'all. Thank you all for sticking with me through the end, and I hope that you are excited as I am for tomorrow's drop. Till next one, y'all, catch y'all. Peace.